something that kind of kills some Celtics fans. And we'll take it away, Seamus. This is your segment for the podcast because I gotta quote you for the graphics on these ones too. Great graphics. Always love the graphics from Seamus. But take it away, Seamus.
Per Sham Sharania, breaking. Marcus Smart has agreed to a contract buyout with the Washington Wizards and intends to sign a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers after clearing waivers, sources tell ESPN. A return to a grand stage for the 2022 NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Marcus Smart, officially a Los Angeles Laker. And I got to say, the 2017 version of myself and the rest of Celtic Nation right now is absolutely vomiting all over the floor watching Marcus Smart go from the Wizards, that was pretty bad in itself. But now, as you see up on screen, Marcus Smart will be the first Laker in NBA history to wear the number 36. So Marcus Smart already making some history with the Los Angeles Lakers, but oh my goodness, I got to say I'm glad Marcus Smart is finding his opportunity out there, and this might be one of the best opportunities out there on the horizon for Marcus Smart, given what his value is now in the NBA and what the NBA landscape looks like, and where the Lakers stand in the Western Conference and what they have on their plate in front of them. But oof, the Lakers. Can we stop signing former Celtics Lakers? I mean, how many times do the Celtics sign former Lakers? I mean, to be fair, the Lakers don't have as much of a robust history in the last 2 decades as the Celtics. I know they have a championship or two in there, maybe a couple, maybe three, right? But ultimately, the Celtics, it feels like former Lakers never make their way up to Boston yet. We have Rajon Rondo, Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart, Isaiah Thomas, all Los Angeles Lakers. I'm sure we can
Dennis
find
Schroeder.
more. Dennis
Oh,
Schroeder. I mean, he was a Laker
Dennis
before.
Schroeder.
No. He
But
was
yeah,
the Laker. He was a Laker who became a Celtic back into a Laker. So that was,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth, back and forth. We got each other on that one, but I mean, I don't, it's some of the gut wrenching thing about it is it's some of the fan favorites, right? It's not a,
Yeah.
it's not a Vincent Poirier, right? It's not a Vincent Poirier where you're going, he played a couple games with the Celtics and now he's with the Lakers. It's like, no, these are staple Celtic guards that fans own jerseys of. I mean, I'm sure I own an Isaiah Thomas
Yeah.
jersey, a Rondo jersey, a Marcus Smart jersey. Do I own all? Yeah, Avery Bradley too. I mean, all their jerseys. I have all their jerseys. You know, they're certainly players who people bought the jerseys of when they were with the Celtics, and now, I mean, obviously not all of them aren't on the Lakers, but they've all now played with the Lakers, and Marcus Smart will play with the Lakers. But Marcus Smart on the Lakers, that one is a. Yep, there it is. Then 2019-20. This is a little bit of a surreal moment. I remember Ennis Cantor leaking those jerseys. I remember I was in high school
Was it
and we were
Ennis?
doing a bus evacuation drill, right? And we're going outside, and I'm peeking my phone, right? We're in P. I'm peeking my phone. I'm going, ooh, Ennis Cantor. Ooh, he leaked the Celtic City edition jerseys, and I remember everybody thought they were blue at first because the lighting was a little weird, and it was one of those, is it blue or is it green? And now I see him in the background, right? That jersey in the background, you have it, Griffin. You just pulled it out of nowhere, and of course Marcus Smart. We're talking about him in this segment, but it's just it's one of the right now, right? In 2025, there are a couple things that we see out there in the NBA landscape, especially the Marcus Smart signing, and it just doesn't sit right, right? It just doesn't feel normal. Like I always look back at the 2016 self or the 2017 self, and what we see now just isn't normal. Marcus Smart with the Lakers. I mean, luckily the Celtics and Lakers haven't necessarily participated in that heated of a rivalry the last 15 years, right? And since the 2008 to 2010 stretch, but ultimately, I mean, the Celtics Lakers rivalry is still a thing. It's still a historic thing, and that's just the thing that kills me about Marcus Smart becoming a Laker is that's going to be on his resume, right? It's going to be on his basketball reference. If he ever,
Has some
if he has
history
pictures of himself on every team he's ever played on in his home one day, he's gonna be in a Lakers jersey up there. But we got to get him on. We got to get him on NBC Sports Boston. Or not even NBC Sports Boston. Let's get him on to the Celtics Nation Rise podcast or the Celtics Talk Weekly live or podcast or post-game show, or special edition, of course, Marcus Smart, come on to all of our programs. But we got to get him back in an Eddie House role, right? Eddie House left the Celtics. He was with a bunch of other teams. But then now you see he's back. He's on NBC Sports Boston. He's up there. Well, I mean, up there from where I'm at in Massachusetts, right? And he's back within the Celtics community. He's a solidified Celtic. I mean, he's a champion of the past, but he's a solidified Celtic. You need to find that role for Marcus Smart in the future, where he's back wearing Celtic green in some regard yet again. Whether that's just a little patch on his polo, or that's just him showing up in a suit and giving out takes for NBC. I mean, Marcus Smart. He is a player who 100% built the bridge to the championship in 2024, and just gut wrenchingly so never got to bask in all of the glory and the fruits that championship bared for the team that season in 2024. But Marcus Smart, for 9 years leading up into the 10th year where the team
Well,
won the championship, built that bridge. And he should. I'm to the. I understand he wasn't on the team, but I feel like Marcus Smart deserves a ring. I mean,
well,
9 year veteran with the Celtics deserves a ring, and now he's with the Lakers. Couple years later. It feels like he's been off the team forever, but I'm glad I gotta say this. I'm glad Marcus Smart, the opportunity is out there for him. I believe he's going to do well with the Lakers, and as well as you can with the Lakers. Let's face it, and that's a good opportunity for him to potentially thrive in a bench role and add some depth to that team and play along some great players as well in the spotlight. He's going to be in the spotlight with the Lakers yet again, and he knows how to handle the spotlight from his time with the Celtics. But great opportunity with great players such as Luka and LeBron and others on that roster, and even JJ Redick as the head coach. I think JJ Redick is going to absolutely love Marcus Smart. I mean, I would want to see JJ Redick, Marcus Smart, Joe Mazzulla in some kind of Muay Thai, what is it called? Muay Thai Kung Fu match. I want to see that, right? I want to see Marcus Smart, JJ Redick, and Joe Mazzulla in a Kung Fu match against each other. That's what I want to see. I think JJ Redick's going to absolutely love Marcus Smart out there in Los Angeles. And I think the Laker fan base, they're just prone to clown anybody. So we're inevitably going to see that at some point where, oh, Marcus Smart's clown, but maybe I'll just say this. Maybe they clown him so much he comes back to Boston, right? He comes back. He's like, I need to make it back to where my hometown is, right? This is the Boston, Massachusetts, right? I'm not there right now, but Boston, Massachusetts is very much a hometown of Marcus Smart. I know he's from Texas, very much a hometown of Marcus Smart, though, for the last 9 seasons, or rather before 2 seasons ago. But Marcus Smart with the Lakers, it is a really it is a sore sight to see for Celtic fans, but you
gross.
have to love the opportunity for him. And it's one of those things where it's like, you want to see Marcus Smart do well, but not too well, right? Not we don't want to see the Lakers do too well with him. Like we don't want to see All Star Marcus Smart. Maybe if he comes back, right? Maybe if he comes back to the Celtics, but right now where Marcus Smart lands out in Los Angeles, that is just a. Was there a worse destination for Marcus Smart? Maybe the
No,
Miami Heat,
but
Philadelphia 76ers. Now I think the Sixers and Heat might be up.
yeah,
Sixers, Heat,
they're up
Lakers
there.
are all like
They're up there.
anybody goes there, it's like
Well,
that
that's
is
what
not good.
Seamus. That's why everyone. If you haven't already, go watch episode 61 of the fan series because he gave a good take on Smart too. No,
Yeah, I have to implement that question every time now. I asked Marty the Meat Man, do the Celtics retire Marcus Smart's number 36? We should get into that conversation right now. Right now. What are we doing? What do we should do what I'll ask you guys this question. Should the Boston Celtics retire Marcus Smart's number 36? And does this addition to the Lakers roster do anything to that?
is you want to start off, Daniel?
I think, oh man, because of how many years he's played, I can see the argument there. But I think if we had just beat that Warriors team in 2022, I would immediately say yes. If we beat that Warriors team and won that ring that year in 2022, I would have said yes immediately. But because we didn't, and because he's still without a ring in Boston, I don't know. It's like a 50. It's more of a 60-40. I do think he should get retired, but I see the argument for the other side, where despite the years he played, despite the DPOY trophy that he has, without a ring, there's not much to validate, I guess, his retirement or the retirement of the number 36. So I don't know.
Well, I got to say first, but before you go, Griffin, here, I understand the ring validating players, right? Because, I mean, let's face it, every player on the 24 Celtics has been immortalized within Celtic Nation. I mean, Drew and KP, they're shipped out. I mean, they're Celtics for life. They're Celtics for life. Anytime they come back to the TD Garden, they're getting a standing ovation.
No.
2 games though, right? 2 games. Marcus Smart. I'll look this up real quick as I'm talking here. But Marcus Smart played a lot of games with the Boston Celtics. All right, a lot of games, and 2 games, right? They were 2 games away from the ring in 2022. The Celtics were against the Warriors, and you could say not even 2 games, but just a couple minutes there in Game 4. I mean, if the Celtics close out Game 4, I actually watched a little bit of that game last night, or rather earlier this morning, and it is pretty gut wrenching. But the Celtics, right? They housed Marcus Smart for 9 seasons. Marcus Smart played 581 games for the Celtics in the regular season, and in the playoffs played 108 games, right? And Marcus Smart has not played an NBA playoff game since 2023, which is pretty astonishing, right? He's a playoff player. But in his entirety, 108 games in the playoffs, and then 581 games in the regular season. Am I supposed to sit back and say the 2 games the Celtics didn't win in the 2022 NBA Finals should stand between Marcus Smart and a jersey retirement with the Celtics? I feel like those. This is where the ring culture conversation comes into all this. Is are we putting a little bit? Are we putting a little bit too much value on the rings? Because again, 581 games in the regular season, 108 games in the playoffs, that's a huge sample size. That's a lot. I mean, that's 9 years worth of games. And Marcus Smart, I mean, he gave his blood, sweat, and tears to the Celtics in those 9 years. And ultimately, that's 689 games, right? 689 games that he played with the Celtics. And I'm supposed to say 2 wins stood between him and a jersey retirement. I think there's more of a debate than people realize when it comes to his jersey retirement, because one defensive player of the year, if you really look back at the history of the Celtics, he was a huge part of the Celtics in those 9 years leading up to the title. And that is what is just so it's I don't know what I mean, I've been using gut wrenching in the entire time, but that is just the it paints the picture of life is not always fair, right, folks? Life is not always fair. Marcus Smart should have basked in the glory of that championship. I mean, he deserved that championship with the Celtics, yet was traded for the final piece of the championship roster. And it's almost as if the 9 years before that are a little forgotten now. They're a little forgotten. People like to remember the championship squad, but they forget all of the years beforehand when Marcus Smart was there making a legitimate impact. And I got to say, the amount of games he's played with the Celtics, I think there's certainly an argument there. But Griffin, what do you think about that?
Well, I look at this. If the Celtics keep retiring all these jersey numbers, they're not going to have any damn jerseys to give out. We're going to see a lot.
Would you feel comfortable with anybody wearing 36 with the Celtics?
That was my
It
thing,
seems
though.
a little weird.
It's like but Isaiah Thomas. I mean, people were like Drew Holiday, but
well, I'll bring this up. I don't know if this player is going to wear this number or not, but Anthony Simons, is he going to take the number 4?
I wonder. But it's like this though. It's like, all right, do I see anyone wearing 36? No. So it's like, all right, whatever. But at the same time, I want to brush up the argument more. So do I see him playing for the Celtics again? Yes. I see him. If anything, I feel like by the end of his career, he will sign a 1-day contract with the Boston Celtics. You see that happening a lot in Massachusetts culture, Boston culture, obviously with Tom Brady doing that, and you've had several other, Chara, I think it was, Chara,
Daniel Chara,
Bruins doing that. You've seen so many, Boston people come back and sign that 1-day contract. So I feel like if we don't ever see a Marcus Smart return on the court, we'll see a 1-day contract potentially, so he could
like a Paul Pierce
Celtic, like a Paul Pierce, So I see that coming more. But I look at this. I feel like, yes, he had such a strong impact on the Boston Celtics. And I look at this, it's definitely hard to say yes, he does. And at the same time, it's like it's so hard to say no, he doesn't. I feel like this, depending on where his career turns out, because he's 31 years old and he's been battling with injuries recently. If he has a rocky finish to his career, could I potentially see the Celtics say, all right, we go with a jersey retirement? And again, what he said earlier was kind of like, could we get him on a vet minimum when, like the team's back and all ready and have more history with Marcus Smart? Then potentially I could see yes. But if he starts having more success elsewhere, for for example, if he has some success with the Lakers, I feel like the Celtics are going to be more like, oh, why are we going to give this Laker credit? Because, it could possibly be the Mookie Betts route. Now, for all the baseball fans out there, Mookie Betts had such history with the Boston Celtics. I mean, Boston Red Sox, my bad. I'm on Celtics mode. But he won a World Series, an MVP with the Red Sox. Does Mookie Betts get his jersey retired for the Red Sox? No, because look, he's had more success with the Dodgers. Now, I know he's had more time with the Dodgers and he was younger. However, Marcus Smart, it depends on his final resume. If he comes back with Boston and has more history, I could totally see them putting his number in the rafters. But, if he starts having success elsewhere, then it's like the chances just keep going lower and lower and lower.
The difference between Mookie Betts and Marcus Smart
There's a lot of differences.
I mean, there are a lot of differences, but the difference between them specifically, some of the key differences is number one, the rings. I mean, Mookie Betts did win a ring with the Red Sox, so you have that, but then you almost have the cancelization of that with 2 rings coming with the Dodgers, right? In 2020 and 2024.
If they never built him though to be the superstar that he was, then he would never have 2 other rings.
But as of this season, Mookie Betts has played as many seasons with the Dodgers as the Red Sox. So 6 years with the Red Sox, 6 years with the Dodgers. As for Marcus Smart, he has 9 years with the Celtics. Do we think he's going to be with the Lakers for 9 years? Realistically, the Lakers, let's face it. I mean, Marcus Smart, I would love to see him have success in Los Angeles, but Los Angeles, it's usually a pit stop for a lot of players. I mean, think about how many players have made their way through the Lakers the last couple of years. Think Dennis Schroeder, we got Malik Beasley, we have so many different players out there who have just made a little pit stop in LA, and they're on to other ventures elsewhere. I mean, we see that all the time. D'Angelo Russell back to the Lakers. I mean, we could the list can go on and on and on with players just making a small little pit stop in Los Angeles and then moving on. That's where, some Celtic fans probably have the hope of, well, this might be a 1-2 year pit stop for Marcus Smart, and then he's shipped maybe back up to Boston. That could be a possibility. But I do want to bring this point up when it comes to Marcus Smart. When he signed with the Lakers, immediately a moment that I thought of, right, that came between the Celtics and the Lakers, and the Celtics and Lakers haven't necessarily owned the heated rivalry that they owned in the 1980s and the 2020s, right? The 2020s rivalry between the Celtics and Lakers just hasn't quite been the same. It's just not quite the same. They haven't met in the NBA Finals, as we know. They both made the NBA Finals, but they haven't met in the NBA Finals, not in a playoff series, and in the regular season. Regular season games are, well, they're regular season games. We know how those go. But a moment that I can remember, a Celtics-Lakers moment I can remember Marcus Smart was very much involved in. And this is not even really a Celtics-Lakers moment as much as it included the game between the Celtics and Lakers. But when Marcus Smart signed with the Lakers, I remembered the moment where the Celtics were playing the Lakers on January 23rd, 2018, all right, during the 2017-18 season. And at the end of the game, the Celtics had a chance to win the game. All right, it was 108 to 107. The Celtics just rebounded the ball. Marcus Smart was coming up the court, streaking up the court. There were 4 seconds left. He has the ball around around the opposite end of the floor, around the 3-point line. He's streaking up the floor, right? He's got to get the ball up the floor in 4 seconds. No timeouts remain for the Celtics. Celtics down by 1. And Terry Rozier is just wide open up the floor. Wide open. I mean, you can see it on the film. He's wide open. Marcus Smart doesn't pass the ball to Terry Rozier and ultimately pulls up for a shot himself, misses the 3-point shot. The Celtics lose the game 108 to 107, and Marcus Smart goes back to his hotel room in Los Angeles and punches a picture, a painting on the wall. We're not really clear what it exactly was, but then he hurts his hand and was out multiple weeks, right? And this is supposed to be a bad story surrounding Marcus Smart. I'll say people will go, oh, that's a little negative of a story. But I'm sorry. I like that passion. I like that fire within a player. I like players who care. All right. He made a bad play. He immediately knew it afterwards, too, because he took the rebound, streaks up the floor. Terry Rozier is wide open for a 3-point shot, completely passes him up, takes a contested 3 at the top of the key, misses. The Celtics lose to the Lakers. And then Marcus Smart goes back to the hotel room and punches a photo frame. And apparently there was glass all up in his hand, and he had to get, I don't know if he got surgery, but there was a wrap on his hand. He was out for multiple weeks, but that is the kind of
That's
passionate player the
passion.
Lakers are getting. Okay, that's the kind of, and I understand that can be a bad story, a negative story. I understand, but the passion, the care for the game, right? That Marcus Smart had. That is what Celtics fans loved. That is what the city of Boston loved. And I really hope Laker fans can appreciate that, because I understand the same grit and grind doesn't exist out in Los Angeles. It's a lot of pretty boy stuff out there in LA, all right? It's about the glitz and the glam, right? Boston's a little more hard-nosed up there. But I really hope that Laker fan base can appreciate the type of passionate player they're getting in Marcus Smart. And that was just a moment that popped up in my head. Not the most positive moment in regards to Marcus Smart, but that was the first Celtic Laker memory I could remember with Marcus Smart involved. There was another one in there. I believe it was no, that didn't even involve Marcus Smart. That was another bad moment. He hurt his
Mhm.
calf against the Lakers. But the highlight I was thinking of, it was in 2021. I was thinking, did Marcus Smart make this pass? No, it was Jason Tatum. He has the behind the back pass
Oh
to
yeah,
Robert
Robert
Williams.
Williams and Robert
Yeah, yeah.
Williams with the Yan. Yeah, that was great.
I'm sure there are more good Lakers, Marcus Smart, Celtic Lakers, Marcus Smart memories that aren't coming to mind right now. But
Can, can
I
I
mean, that was
can
the
I give
one. That
my
was the one I can remember. That one was the one that sparked a lot of controversy that we spent a lot of time on making content at the time. And back in January of 2018, I cannot believe that's 7 years ago. All of a sudden,
can I give my final take on Marcus Smart and give a final thing I want to say about him is Marcus Smart, I love you, man. Like you will always be a Celtic in my heart. And it sucks, like it's devastating him going to the Lakers, but they're paying him. He can play at a competitive level. I mean, he was rotting in DC. We didn't want to see him rot in DC. But you
that's
know,
that's that that no, that's a key point, Griffin. Sorry to interrupt you here, but that's a key point because now Marcus Smart is in a competitive. He's in a
yes,
competitive environment with the Lakers. The Lakers are actually playing for something. You know, LeBron. We don't know what's going on with him necessarily, although we expect he's going to be with the Lakers next season. But the Lakers are actually playing for something and wanted Marcus Smart to contribute to the roster. I was afraid with the Wizards, Marcus Smart was becoming a player where
he
I understand his
boss.
$20 million contract, he wasn't worth that. But even without that contract, I was wondering, is he going to fall out of the league? I could see Marcus Smart becoming a Udonis Haslam, James Johnson type of a player who's just sitting on the bench mentoring a PJ Tucker, right?
Yeah,
Somebody like that who's not playing a ton but is mentoring all the guys, giving motivation to his squad. I could see Marcus Smart in that role as his career moves on. But I was wondering, is Marcus Smart going to actually contribute to a competitive team once again? When he was traded to the Wizards, when the Grizzlies got rid of him, I was thinking, ooh, the Wizards might buy him out. They might waive him. We don't know what the Wizards are going to do. And will a team actually want Marcus Smart to contribute to their championship level squad? And the Lakers obviously become that squad now, as again, as excruciating as that can be for Celtics Nation. But that's a good main point to hit at there, is Marcus Smart is in a competitive situation now and not like you said, rotting with the Washington Wizards.
totally,
Yeah,
totally.
I agree with that. I think mostly because I started being a Celtics fan about like 7 years ago. which is like right around the time, like not really at the start of his career, but like when he started mattering to the Celtics. So when he started like making those plays you all remember, those like where he's
Hustle
like,
plays to die.
yeah, I was looking for the word hustle. Yeah, right throughout right on the time when he starts making those hustle plays, you see him diving across the floor to get that ball, to keep it in, so another Celtics can get it. Those defensive plays that he's known for, and I think that was right around the time where I like fell in love with him. That's mainly the reason why I got that the hat. You know, the hat was like Tatum, Brown, and Smart. I think Smart is
Yeah,
my
yeah,
first.
like the
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
Yeah, the shirt and hat. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
on
I
everything.
think that's one of the reasons why I got that hat is because it had Smart on it. And Smart had like the most detail out of all of them because he had his green hair at the time, and I think that was my favorite like phase of Smart, where like dyed it green to show the Celtics love, and I think that's when like my love just like became like 10 times more, you know, for a guy like Marcus Smart. And it was sad to see him leave. It was sad to see Robert Williams leave. It was sad to see Brogdon leave. Like that whole 2021, 2022 team was something else for me. It was something special. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like Smart with the green hair. After that was such a special moment. Um, I think that's what made me like really fall in love with him there, because he's showing like his like basically the dedication to the Celtics and his dedication to the team. So it hurt to see him leave, but I think I'm super glad that he's on the Lakers, because again, like Seamus said, I think one of my biggest fears was like him just being one of those guys that like, oh, we spent 9 of his seasons at like one of the best teams in the NBA, and then just like slowly just like exits out of the league, just like goes to DC, and then maybe goes to like another like the Nets or something like that for like a year before they waive him, and now it's just like out of a contract or something. So yeah, it would be sad if that was the truth, that like he just disappears from the league after the Celtics. But I like seeing him on the Lakers, just because once again, like I'm just gonna be reiterating what everybody else just said. It's good to see him at another competitive team. It's good to see him at a team where a team that's going to recognize his value, a team that's going to finally give him something for what he's worth, and a team where he can finally compete again, finally get some minutes. And it's not just like a team like the Wizards where they're just like, oh, we're going to be tanking for the next 10 years. Let's just play smart. Like, let's just get smart and just like play whatever, just like because we're the Wizards and we don't really care about anything right now. But yeah, it's good to see him on the Lakers where he can finally get some implementation, where his defense can be used, where most of his skills can be used. So yeah, I like that he's on the Lakers. It sucks because it's the Lakers, but I'm not happy for the team itself. I'm happy for him.
That's fair. That's a fair take. I love that, Daniel. I'm not happy for the team. I'm happy for him. I love that.
Let me show the
And
smart shirt I have in the back. Hold on.
You know, and I have something to show real quick here too. Here we go. So this comes from straight outside the TD Garden. We got the cereal. We got the Wicked Smarts
Wicked
here.
smarts. Wicked smarts. Oh, we got a smart jersey.
The Wicked Smarts.
Oh, look at this,
Woo!
Seamus. Look what we have.
I see it.
We got all the smart gear.
No, bring your jersey down, Griffin. Bring your jersey down. Let's give some homage to Marcus Smart here. Here we go. Yes. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you,
Marcus. Thank you, Marcus.
Forever a champion in our hearts. Okay,
Forever.
maybe not on Basketball Reference or in pen, right on paper, but in our hearts, very much
I will
a
have to
Celtic
say,
champion, Marcus Smart.
I think this is our goodbye to Smart because he's a Laker now. I won't go as far as Caveman. I love you, Caveman, but I won't go as far and unfollow him. But I love you, Smart. That's all I gotta say. And I'm rooting for you to have success, not the team. I'm rooting for you individually. I wouldn't mind another defensive player of the year.
Amen to that.
But I don't want the team to do well. I want you to do well. I like the team.
Amen to that.
Yes, the team can suck. I'll be fine if the team sucks. But you have a good year. I'm clapping for you. I'm rooting for Smart, not the Lakers.
I'll tell you this though, Marcus Smart is the type of player where he does not care about his individual success. He's going to care more about the team success than his individual success. So whatever we're rooting for there, I'm telling you, Marcus Smart, he's going to care more about that team success.
No, he is.
Regardless. But that's what Laker fans, come on, be thankful, right? Laker fans have to be thankful they have Marcus Smart on their roster.
And treat him well. Treat him well.
Exactly.
Because I will tell you this, we were hoping we were going to get the return, Dame back to Portland. Who else was there? Who else was the other one? Who was the other
Chris
one?
Paul.
Chris Paul
Okay.
to the Clippers. Yep, there it was. And we were hoping Marcus Smart to the Celtics. However, it was unfortunate. He's with the Lakers, but love you, Smart. Love you, Smart. That's all we gotta say. That's our thank you, Smart. That's our thank you, Smart, for Celtics Nation Rise. But
Thank you, Marcus Smart.
thank you, Smart. Thank you, Smart.